we have our interfaces. Our 2x2 has been out for a while. That was the first interface we came to market with. And we also have here the 6x6, which is an interesting device. So it's got two preamps on it, but the thing that makes this thing special is just it's a very versatile device in the fact where so we got the high quality preamps on high quality AD and DA that we have in the 2x2, but it's got another headphone output, but it also has the macro MMC word clock, so this thing can operate in standalone mode, so if you just want to use it as a DAC or an ADC, in that case you can. The headphone preamps are really high quality. It'll run bus powered, but we also have a 5-volt external power that we recommend to use to just get the highest headroom out of those headphone preamps.
Absolutely.
But also it's got an OTG port on it, so OTG stands for on the go technology, and it's really interesting. Like if you can see here, I just to show this real quick. OTG is designed to work with mobile devices, so it's a 2-in 2-out transport from a mobile device. So you can see here I'm playing like a virtual instrument and I'm getting meters in Studio One. So basically you can use it to take in any audio from a mobile device. So there's like a bunch of interesting ways to use it. You can use the OTG port to record audio from a mobile device. So I have like a virtual instrument pulled up here. But you can also, like, dude, if you're doing like some rap stuff and somebody wants to grab a 2-track from YouTube, you can like you can use it to track anything from a mobile device straight into the DAW.
Okay, and how do you route to the mobile device? Is it a Bluetooth thing?
No, so it's a USB port. So it's OTG USB.
Okay.
So it's just another USB-C port.
So you just plug that into there?
Yeah, you just plug it into your mobile device. You might have, depending on whatever mobile device you're using, you might need to use like an OTG dongle, which you can find on the internet for a couple bucks.
Does that provide bus power as well?
So the OTG port does not carry power.
Okay.
So that's why on this device we also have, this thing can be bus powered, but it also has an external power option.
No, I'm just saying, will the OTG port continue to power that iPad?
No.
Okay.
So it won't, so that's part of the functionality is you can basically, any sound from the phone can be recorded to the DAW very easily, but also it'll also send audio back into the mobile device. So for anybody wanting to stream or perform online or do any social media stuff like that, you can set up a DAW and set up a mix in the DAW to go out to the phone. So if you ever try to use Instagram Live or whatever, you're a guitar guy, you want to plug in your Kemper to the SPDIF inputs and record some stuff to Instagram. Okay, like Instagram Live and Facebook Live and all these other programs don't recognize a class compliant device. You can't select the inputs on the device, right?
Absolutely.
So you can set up your own mix and go and get around that and
just record the straight thing through the
so if you want to play alongside backing track in your DAW, you can do all that. You can do a bunch of interesting stuff. Like you can go straight into like the camera app. So if you play along with your Kemper and you normally record that and then sync it to your phone video, you can just do it at once. So you don't have to go and do all that stuff. And furthermore, like I was saying, this thing has a standalone mode. So it'll right here, if you hold the button, it'll go into standalone mode. You click the button to go through the different sample rates. So like if you want to use this just as a master word clock, you can.
That's awesome.
But also, there's a bunch of cool stuff that happens at firmware where all the audio is routed to the monitor out. So if you just want to jam with this thing, you can without having to plug it into a computer. I also have a video online that shows me clocking the Kemper through SPDIF to this word clock, and I have a null test. So and
it doesn't null.
No, it does not null. It does not null, and you can download the files online. I think it improves the response and the feel. I feel like
I'm assuming that the tighter clock makes everything sound tighter.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I was really kind of shocked by it. But you go check out that online. But another cool thing that also happens is all the audio is also routed out of that OTG out port. So even if you want to stream to your phone, you can have all your inputs plugged into here, go into the phone, and you don't even need a computer to do it. So
that's very cool.
Pretty cool. It does a whole bunch of crazy stuff. So
I think that's worth the price alone.
Yeah. So
and does this have the OTG port?
So no, the 2x2 is more basic. It's got 2 ins, 2 outs. That's SPDIF.
But this is next level. If you're running something like a podcast studio or you're running something like a video game streaming setup, that may be one of the best things out there for you.
Right, and it's got the high quality AD and DA and preamps, right? Which it's kind of the marriage of somebody who wants to kind of step into a more boutique thing, but also get all the creature comforts of doing some content, right? And then, so that's pretty much it for the Black Lion devices. And then one other cool thing we have here from our friends at Freqtube is at Freqport is the Freqtube. And I don't know if have you heard about this thing?
No, tell me about it.
Okay, so
are there tubes glowing back here?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So this is analog tubes, all presented to the computer through one USB, and this thing's handling all the AD, DA, up to 32-bit, 192, and it's seamlessly happening with a DAW it's happening with a VST in your DAW. So
I see what's happening here.
Right.
So you have the ability, I see it. So this is DSP, and then there's a tube.
Right.
And then this controls the drive, and then the mix.
You can assign whatever knob you want to whatever control.
Oh, interesting.
So right, and you can color code it, and it'll dynamically. So you can use 2 instances of the plugin for 2 stereo instances, or you can do 4 mono, and it'll dynamically populate. And what's really interesting is the USB transport that they developed for this installs into your computer, and it works just as a VST. So it's sandwiching itself between your ACO driver and your DAW, so it doesn't interrupt anything you're doing.
And
with your
it
DAW.
does all of it on its own.
Boom.
Yep.
It's super seamless. So
dude, this is very cool. How much is
recall.
this?
This is $9.99. And it's 2 different sets of tubes. It's 12 AT7 and 12 AX7.
Okay, so a little bit more drive, a little bit less.
Yep, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's also got 2 different filters in it, so you can go to town and sound. You can crush stuff, or you can subtly kiss it. And the voltages of the tubes are specifically designed to work with this box and the power that's going on with this box. So you can get crazy and crush stuff, or you can just lightly kiss it and get some like air and stuff. So I really think this thing competes with the analog boxes that we really like.
I like seeing stuff like this, because if we're gonna keep things like tubes and transformers alive, we're gonna have to figure out a new way to interact with them.
How many hip hop producers or whatever would love to get some crisp on their vocal, but they're used to working on their Apollo Twin,
and they don't want to recall shit.
No. Oh, and also you tell them oh man, how cool is this? And then you're okay. Well, you're gonna need a patch bay. You're gonna and we love that, but this might be something that gets somebody into analog.
That's
right?
very, very cool.
Yeah, and you can throw it in your backpack. You have tubes, So there'll be more stuff coming from this company. I'd really keep an eye out for. This is the first.
Are they with RAD as well?
We distribute them in the States. Yes.
Okay, awesome.
So they have other distributors for EU and stuff, but we handle them in the States. And new company, but they have a patent on that USB transport. So this is the first box, but you can only imagine what they'll do after this.
No, that's wonderful.
Super cool.
So this is United.
Yeah. So let's talk. So United is based out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Okay.
Yeah,
and who are the guys behind this company? One of them's a Facebook friend of mine. What's his name?
So Chad
Kelly, right?
Chad Kelly. Yeah.
Yep.
Chad Kelly has a very storied history in the industry.
Yep.
He's made mics for a lot of other manufacturers who are doing well right now. But United's been around now for a few years, and right now. Our Twin 87 is over there, but right here we have the FET. This is what the company launched with. This is a FET 47. This is the United FET 47.
The fit and finish on this is beautiful. Looks great.
Great designs. Capsules design from I forget his name, but some guy who has a storied and famous history in capsule design. German guy designed it, and that's the first model they came out with, and then they followed it up with the Twin 87 that Heritage has over there, which is it's an 87 clone, but it models the AI and the original. So with the flip of a switch, and it's not just a filter; it totally repowers the capsule and everything.
Yeah, so, the DC to DC converter is a big part of the sound of that microphone.
It's super sick. But this thing's great. I use this on bass cab and kick drum all day.
Awesome.
And then this is the BB1 from Avantone, and this is a tube mic around $9.99 price point. But this thing is its own beast, and it's one of the most detailed mics I've ever used, and it's kind of slept on. More people need to know about this.
Avantone made a microphone that I used one time. It was red, right?
That's the C12.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the the Taylor Swift mic.
Yeah, that mic is good.
Yeah, it's really good. There's
Yep.
also a C12 Black Lion modded one as well.
Okay.
That we did some mods on it. You can buy that from the factory as well.
Okay.
So that one's really cool.
That's good to know, everybody. Black Lion Audio modded C12 from Avantone.
Yep. And then this year we just announced these Avantone CLA-10A. It's just a limited edition active CLA-10, which is an NS10.
Yeah, I love the layout because they look like NS4s.
Yeah.
The Yamaha NS4s.
Yeah, and these, if you like NS10s, you'll like these. We also just announced a replacement speaker for these. That's we're calling like an Age speaker.
I saw that.
Right. So if you're used to a dollar sound,
Yeah, and it's Age tweeters, right?
Right.
Yep.
It's Age tweeter. So if you're used to hearing some NS10s that are old and worn in, there is a control in the back of these that it's like a high-end driver. So you can tune these if you're used to something a little bit darker, or you can opt for that aged tweeter, as we would say, for a more traditional sound. Yeah.
Well, that is awesome. Thank you
Right.
so much, Kyle.
Cool, bro.
Yep, have a great day.